It's the mid-unit 4 review. Our test is on Wednesday. November 9th. So there's 3 parts of the review: factoring, solving with quadratic formula, and then simplifying complex numbers. So the first one, I need to factor x squared minus 3x minus 4. So I need to find 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 4. So that's my product. And add to give me negative 3, my sum. So I need 2 numbers that are 3 apart, so 4 and 1. To give me a negative 3, it has to be 1 and negative 4. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So that's what I want. So I'm going to draw my box. So my first term goes in the first box. My last term goes in the last box. And then I need 1 and negative 4. So 1, I'm going to put an x, then negative 4x. Now I need to find what's common. So I'm going to pick 2 going directly across. X squared and x have an x in common. X squared and negative 4x have an x in common. And x times x is x squared. And then going down, x and negative 4 only have a 1 in common, and x times 1 gives me x. And then going across here, negative 4x and negative 4 is a negative 4 in common. And negative 4 times x gives me negative 4x. And 1 times negative 4 gives me negative 4. So I factored that correctly. So x plus 1, then x minus 4. It really doesn't matter the order I put my factors in. I'm multiplying, I could have had x minus 4, x plus 1. It doesn't matter. Number 2, I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 36. And add to give me negative 5. So I'm going to try 6 and 6. One of them has to be negative. That's going to add to give me 0. That's not what I want. 4 and 9. Negative 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. I need those 2 numbers, but I need to reverse the signs. 4 and negative 9. 4 minus 9 gives me negative 5. So n squared and negative 36. And then my factors, 4x and negative 9x. Oh, and mixing up my variables. So n squared and negative 9n have an n in common. These have an n in common. These have a negative 9 in common. And these have a 4 in common. So number 3, my table, I need to multiply to get 32, and I need to add to get 12. So 32, 2, and 16. Those add to get 18. 4 and 8. give me 12. So then these have an R in common, those have an R in common, those have a 4 in common, those have an 8 in common. So number 4, I need to multiply to get negative 12 and add to get negative 4. So I'm going to try 2 and negative 6. Two minus 6 gives me negative 4. So those are my two numbers. So I'm going to put n squared negative 12. Then I put 2 in negative 6n. Those have an n in common. These have an n in common. Those have a 2 in common. And those have a negative 6 in common. So n plus 2, n minus 6. Number 5. I need to multiply to get negative 30 and add to get 1. So I need two numbers that are 1 apart. So two consecutive integers, 5 and 6. So the bigger number has to be positive to leave my sum to be positive, so it's negative 5. So 6 minus 5 gives me 1. So these have an n in common, those have an n in common. Those have a 6, those have a negative 5. So on the rest of these, my first coefficient is not 1. So on 5, you can see it's just n squared. So on 6, I have 9. So now I need to do something different. I'm going to multiply the first and the last terms together. So 9 times 80 gives me 720. So that's what I need to multiply to get. So my product is 720. My sum is 82. So since I have some huge numbers, I'm just going to do it in the calculator. Y1, you put your product, 720, then divide it by x. And Y2, put your product, divided by x, and then you're going to add x. So Y1 is going to generate all the numbers that 720 is divisible by. Y2 is going to add the numbers that you get in Y1 with x. And so your Y2 is what you need to look at. That's your sum column. Your sum, you need to find 82. So that's my red column. You need to find 82. There it is. So my sum is 82, so the two numbers I'm going to use are 10 and 72. So 10 times 72 is 720. Then 10 plus 72 is my 82. I'm going to draw my box. Nine x squared, and then 80. And then 10x and 72x. So now I need to be careful about what I'm pulling out of the two numbers. So between 9 and 10, there's only one. X squared and x, I'm pulling an x out. So 10 and 80 have a 10 in common. So I know I set this up right. So when I factor things out, I should get exactly what I put in when I multiply the outsides. So x times 9x squared, or x times what gives you 9x squared? That's 9x. 72 is divisible by 9. It gives you 8. So 72 and 80 have an 8 in common. So my answer is x plus 8, 9x plus 10. So again on 7, I'm going to multiply 9 and 72. That's 648. It's my product. My sum is my middle term. So in the calculator, I'm going to put in 648, 648. I need to find negative 89. There it is. So negative 89, so that's negative 81 and negative 8. So 9 and 81 have a 9 in common, and there's a k in common. Going across, 9 and negative 8 only have a 1 in common, but there's a k in common. And then, so 9 times negative 9 gives me negative 81. Then going down, that has to be a negative 8. K times negative 8 is a negative 8k. And I showed y'all how to check yourselves in the calculator, but in case you forgot, you're going to type in what you got to start with. So 9x squared, and you have to use x instead of k, minus 89x plus 72. And then on the keyboard, it's above math, it says test in blue. So you're going to do second math, and it brings up the test options. You want to test if it's equal, and then you're going to put in 9x minus 8, and then x minus 9. So it gives you a 1, that's true. If it gives you a 0, it's false. It's binary. So I factored it right, it gave me a 1. So number 8, I'm going to multiply the first and the last together. 6 times 18 gives me 108. So that's my product. My sum is negative 31. So my two factors are negative 4 and negative 27. Ugh, 27. So put in 6k squared, 18, and then on my diagonals I need negative 4k and negative 27k. 6 and negative 4 have a 2 in common, and there's a k in common. Going down, I have a 3 in common, and there's a k in common. 2 times 3 gives me 6. And then over here, 2 times negative 2 gives me negative 4. And going across here, 3 times negative 9 gives me negative 27. And negative 9 times negative 2 gives me positive 18. So those are my factors. 3k minus 2, 2k minus 9.